Summer 2024 is upon us, which means you might be taking vacation, you might be visiting relatives, or you just might be taking life a little bit more slowly. We encourage you to do that. And I invite you to join us in something new that we are trying this summer. It's a church-wide summer reading of the Bible, a church-wide Bible study. It's going to take place, well, kind of like this. We are reading the book of Acts together. Everyone in the church, everyone and anyone is invited to read along with us. But it is the story of the early church. What we are going to do throughout the summer, we will have different checkpoints along the way that we will meet in person to talk about the book of Acts. I am separating these 28 chapters with 4 different checkpoints. And so, for example, on June 23rd after church, we will discuss chapters 1 through 7. On July the 14th, we will discuss chapters 8 through 14. July 28th, we will discuss chapters 15 through 21, and then August 11th, we will discuss chapters 22 through 28. This is so that everyone has an opportunity to read the same book of the Bible, and for us to be able to interact and talk about it in the ways in which we are able. So, let me just tell you a little bit about the book of Acts. It is after the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And these Gospels are experiences, talking about Jesus' birth, talking about his life, his ministry, his arrest, his crucifixion, his death, and then certainly the resurrection. And so those are basically 4 different lenses of viewing Jesus' life and crucifixion and resurrection. So then after Jesus is gone, you've got all these disciples who don't know exactly what to do. They remember the promises that Jesus made to them, but Jesus is not there in the way in which he once was. And so these disciples who have been committed and faithful, and then again, they've been uncommitted and unfaithful at times, because we remember the disciples, right? So, but they're trying to figure out life. How do they do life together? How do they live a life of faith? What does it mean now that Jesus is gone? And so basically, this is the beginning of the early church. It is called the Book of Acts, the full title, The Acts of the Apostles. But it just as well could have been the Acts of the Holy Spirit, because here is where we have the assurance that even though Jesus is gone in the way that he had been, the Holy Spirit is very present in the life of these apostles. And so it is the Holy Spirit that guides them. So you're going to have access to videos where I'm reading the scriptures, just as if we were hearing them here in church. I do think that it's important to hear the scriptures read aloud. Much of this is how it was communicated in our ancient days. And so we could hear it in that manner. I will be using the New Revised Standard Version, the updated edition that was published in, I think, or available for sale in 2022. I hope that you'll join us as we study the scriptures together, and as we too sort out, how do we live together as First Reformed United Church of Christ? How do we live out our faith in this world today?